What's wrong, Kyle?
Man, these kids, man, talking shit, making me feel bad.
Man, fuck them kids, bro. Look around, bro. Look at life.
Man, you're right.
Man, you see these fine bitches over here?
Yeah,
You see these trees, man? You see this water?
I guess it is okay.
Come on, man. You got so much more to appreciate, man.
Man, you know what? You're right.
Welcome to the world-famous Phil Henry Show from the El Pacifico in Southern California.
Man, thanks.
I'm Margaret Gray.
I'm General Galen Shaw.
That's what
I'm Bud Dickman. And I'm Robert Leonard. Here's Phil Henry. This is called Kyle, right? That's the artist. The artist's name is Kyle, and the song is called I Spy, with a special feature from, or a special appearance from Little Yachty. What do you mean Little Yachty? What about Little Wayne? Little Yachty. All right. Very interesting. Thank you. What's up with you?
Nothing up with me. Let's just get this thing rolling, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're burning daylight a little bit, Miss Henry. Hey, when I get it going, I'll get it going, okay? And this burning daylight thing, boy, I'm sorry I ever told you guys that one. What about it? It's pretty good. Everybody sounds like they're out of breath here, you know. We're just kind of waiting for the show to start because, frankly, I'm fascinated. And, Morgan, we were talking about this before. We went on the air here. The whole argument that Chodilia is having, oh, man. You know, I don't even want to get in the middle of that. Well, we got him at 7 because he's going to be on with Ted Bell today.
Yes, this is why we want the Chef Carl Chodilia and the statement that he made to Ted. I don't know which way to take that.
Well, I don't want to talk about it right now, if it's all the same. We can wait for them to come on the air. What, is that the first segment?
Yes, is that number one?
No, it isn't. With the first segment, it's going to be what? It's going to be R.C. Collins and an alt-right report.
Oh, gee.
Dave. R.C. Collins and the alt-right. Yeah, don't worry. We'll get to Chef Chodilia and to Ted Bell and what they're going to talk about, which I don't want to tell anybody, so but don't... I'm going to say anything.
You know he wants to.
It's not a big deal, but just shut up, man. All right. So, welcome to our show. Don't forget, this is the world-famous Phil Henry Show, and if you don't yet have a Backstage Pass subscription to our website, you need to get one now, man, because we are going to a new pricing tier in a couple of weeks as soon as we get the website up and running, and that means prices is going up. Everybody with a current subscription going back, I don't care how many years you're in at that level. You don't get charged any more money. And like I said, we've got people who are on the $6.95 plan. We have people that are on the $9.99 plan. We have people that are doing a year for $79.99.
And all those prices are going up when?
Now, you haven't really named a date yet. We don't yet have a date to nail down, but when we do, because this is the whole thing with websites. I try to tell people this. Okay, what are you looking at? Well, you got to win a big song and a dance. Yeah, look, Phil, if you're going to explain it, I'm going to explain it. Because because a lot of people don't understand. Websites, it's kind of like when you're building a house. You ask the construction contractor when it's going to be done. He is very, very reluctant to give you a hard and fast date because they don't know what's going to come up. They don't know what mistakes are going to be made or what problems they're going to have.
Well, Phil, I don't think it's right for you to impugn our fine construction contracting people. If you've got a man doing your website who's, excuse my language, who's doing the pooch, doing
it from the rear.
Exactly.
Boy, that's a hell of a way of putting it. Well, come on. Are they doing a pooch from the rear or are they not? You kind of have to know, Mr. Henry. You guys don't need to know any of that.
Well, then the answer is yes.
Yeah, that's a yes. I'd kick this guy in the ass. So I've got a great webmaster. I've got a great development team. And they're going at a rate that we want to make sure everything's done right. We got a big, big archive, folks. 20,000 plus hours. We're approaching 25,000 hours. I don't even know how many hours we got. I know it's over 20,000. It's the biggest repository of radio material of probably any kind of media anywhere in the world. I would be willing to place a bet on that, at least radio. And that takes a long time to migrate. What do you mean by migrate?
Well, he's talking about the material has to travel.
It has to travel. Well, they take it and move it from the present site over to the new site. And all of that takes time. Getting the logs right, which is always a huge thing. So when we're ready to fly, we'll be ready to fly. But I can tell you it is a project that is rapidly approaching the end game here, and we're very excited about that. So coming up, we got R.C. Collins. We do have the alt-right report, but first let's go out to the traffic. See what it's like out there on the highways and byways here with Bob Bacon. Bob?
Well, right now we've got the Tipton Freeway. If you take a look at it, you're going to see it right there on the outbound at 50th and Brown. And right now, if you stay stable out, there's a stable boy up making sure that we're going to be available. So I'm thinking that thought they were going to Skyboy.
Oh my God, Bob! Did you have a thing? There's every reason to believe I got a hot on and probably tequila. You know, the best of them is trying to get all simple and tangled and found on. Go to Sky Baby right now. I don't know what I'm on now. My mommy. That will do it.
Yeah. Boy, Sky Baby is sweet hand. Feels good. I keep forgetting they can do that, can't they?
Gargantua's diet food. It comes pre-packaged to your house. Hello, everyone. This is Glenn Neebly, and you remember when I weighed 680 pounds? I'm down to 400. That sounds like I still weigh a lot, and I am pretty fat. I'm pretty large. But boy, I used to weigh 680 pounds. Using Gargantua's new diet plan, even me, Glenn Neebly, I can take off the weight, put it back on, take it off. In fact, last year, I went from 840 pounds all the way down to 175, and then packed it back on to about 500 when I had a really interesting Christmas. Because I know most of you enjoy Thanksgiving. You certainly do love Halloween, and boy, where would we be without that Valentine's Day candy and Easter too. So when you feel like packing it back on, slobbing it up and slothering it out, you can with Gargantua's new diet plans. And once you're all done shoveling it in and you decide you want to live maybe another extra year or not, you'll take the weight right off down to a nice even 175. Gargantua's diet foods. Call this number now for more information from Gargantua.
Gargantua's diet foods.
Dial 555-1622, extension 6. That's 555-1622, extension 7.
Well, you said extension 6.
Excuse me. Sorry, Gargantua. Don't forget, Gargantua's diet foods. I'm Glenn Neebly. Tell them that I sent you. It won't do anything. It'll probably anger them, but tell them anyway.
Gargantua diet foods.
A proud sponsor of the Phil Hendry Show.
First time you ain't gotta do it twice, but I
World famous Phil Hendry Show from the El Pacifico in Southern California. I almost said Southern California. And now it's time for the, what is this? The alt-right report with, is that right? Yeah, it's the alt-right report with R.C. Collins. The alt-right report. Jesus. And talking to us from his home in San Leandro, California, ladies and gentlemen, here is R.C. Collins. R.C., very, very pleasant good day to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Phil. I appreciate that. Welcome very, very much. This is R.C. Collins, and this is the alt-right report. Yeah. And on today's alt-right report, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump and the fact that he had a press conference today. And I'll tell you what, he opened a few people's eyes. I think he opened some people's minds. And I think he opened up a lot of minds to the things that he wants to say.
Maybe opened up minds. Said it twice.
Again, Mr. Henry, I've got a request.
But look at, I'm sorry. Bud, would you be quiet? The guy's doing a report.
Well, now the young man, just let him say what he wants to say. There's plenty of time for questions later, right?
Maybe I might be in a hurry. I might have other things to attend to today. You know that I'm working on the floor at the factory at Father's Factory. You know that, don't you?
We know that, R.C. Very good, but in case there is time.
Thank you. Can you do it again?
Yeah, R.C. Collins and the alt-right report.
Well,
that's what?
that was all I used.
Why don't you just live with it, son?
Hello, everybody. This is R.C. Collins, and welcome to the alt-right report. Donald Trump had a press conference in Washington, D.C. yesterday, and I'll tell you something right now. It had a lot of people going, wow, that was pretty good. Because one of the things that he did is he stuck up for himself, because a lot of the press has been just piling on and just dumping all over him, all kinds of stuff. I know that Donald Trump is very unusual, and that, I think, is what gets him in trouble, because he's unusual. He's unusual.
Do you want us to comment?
No, Can we start again?
No, we cannot start again, okay?
What is it with you? You want us to start again? You didn't want us to comment. Now you want us to comment.
I'm doing that for effect. I'm going to, okay, what do you think? Yeah, okay, nobody's got nothing to say. That's what I was going to do.
Well, we don't have any time for it, okay? So just continue.
We'll only have have any time for it.
We don't have any time for it.
Come on, man. Quit gripping it and paddling it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Come on, man.
Anyway, Donald Trump had a press conference, and I think he did pretty good. And also, not to keep talking about Sean Hannity like we did yesterday, but he also agreed that Donald Trump did good. This is R.C. Collins with the Alt-Right Report, and now let's get back to the Phil Henry Show.
All right, thank you, RC. And RC stays on the line with us here to talk a little bit about, that press conference. RC, we've got a few people here, as you know, on the panel who've got questions. What do you think was the most successful thing about it?
Well, I think the most successful thing about the press conference with Mr. Trump was the fact that he didn't back down this time, Mr. Henry. He's always, being more polite, I think, than he should be. And this time he said, no, I'll have none of it. You're treating me unfairly, and you need to know about that. And I think that was unusual. The other thing about the press conference that I think was good is he said, there's facts and there's leaks. And just because there's a leak doesn't mean there's facts. You know, Mr. Henry?
Yeah, no, I'm listening to you.
Okay. And then the other thing I think is the fact that Donald Trump, he said when the protests come out, they're out in an alley someplace, and they're not really protesters.
All right, there's let me just go first, all right?
Yeah, I knew it'd be you, General.
Yeah, no, let me go first. Donald Trump characterizes protesters as they're sitting out in an alley, and they're not even legitimate. Where does he come off?
Well, I mean, are you going to tell me that they are?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Just because they don't agree with him. Oh.
Well, you got to understand, General, Donald Trump knows things that we don't know. All right?
Maybe he knows things we don't know.
He does. He knows stuff that we don't know. I'm just trying to tell you. You don't understand,
Now, I got to tell you something, RC. Man, you're brainwashed. It sounds a little bit like that, RC.
Why do you think I'm brainwashed?
Because you say he knows things that we don't know.
Mr. Trump has an ability to read the situation and to understand all concerned. See, that's what I'm saying.
You sound like a moron, kid. I hate to say it.
Yeah, there we go with the insults. You can't, all of you anti-Trump people, you can't say nothing without insulting people.
Well, RC, you're begging for it. When you say that Donald Trump understands things and he knows things, you sound like some sort of worshipful acolyte,
I don't even know what that means.
You sound like someone who's brainwashed and somebody who would believe anything he was saying.
Brainwashed. That's another insult that a lot of you anti-Trump types, like to dish out.
Let me ask a question here, because everybody's got pretty much the same concern. When you say that Donald Trump knows stuff and and that other people don't understand, why don't you look critically at that?
What do you mean look critically at it?
Why aren't you asking yourself, why am I saying these things? Does that sound like a responsible citizen?
Does that sang? Does it sang?
And we're not going to get sidetracked with the way people are pronouncing things.
Okay, I'm sorry.
See, that's the whole thing. I dare you to look uncritically at Donald Trump and tell me what you see.
You want me to look uncritically at him?
Yes, take a look at Donald Trump figuratively as we talk about him, and be perfectly honest.
Bet you can't even do that.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And yes, I can.
All right, do it.
I'm looking at Donald Trump in my mind's eye, and I see a guy who's, there's not a lot wrong with the guy.
Yeah, oh, really? What about his looks?
What's wrong with him?
Oh, my God.
I don't know that that's necessarily where we want to go. You're trying to tell me the guy's good looking?
No, I didn't say that. It's just what's wrong with his looks.
You think the hairdo is? Oh, man.
We're talking specifically about the hairdo.
What about his hairdo? It looks fine to me. And as a matter of fact, I seen him the other day in a high wind, and it was blowing all over the place, and he's not even bald. That a lot of people say he is.
No, don't say he's bald anymore. But they are saying this hair's thinning and the hair's weird.
All right, let's get off the hair. Let's talk about, and let's get off of his appearance. And let's talk about the substantial stuff. When he says that people, like the general was saying, when he says that these are phony protesters, when he says that he won in a landslide.
You don't understand something. Mr. Trump is fed all kinds of bad information every day. And there's a lot of people that are trying to make him look bad in his administration. And now that we know that there's a leaker, then they're going to go find the leaker, that's for sure.
They're going to find a leaker. Does he know who it is? Yeah, has he got some kind of an idea?
He'll find out. Trust me when I tell you that Mr. Trump will find out. When he says he wants to find out, he's going to find out.
RC, you sound very definite about these things. What if you're wrong?
What do you mean, what if I'm wrong?
What if Donald Trump does not solve all these problems that he says he's going to solve?
I'm sorry, that's impossible.
See, this is what I'm saying, Phil.
No. You can't say that because that's negative thinking. And Mr. Trump has taught us all to be positive thinking. So I'm going to positive think it.
You're going to positive think it.
That's right. And I'm done. I'm tired with the vibes are bumming me out. Bums me out.
Yeah, the vibes are bumming you out. You got the German national anthem going here, the Nazi anthem.
That's in honor of Mr. Trump's home, of his home state of Germany.
What do you mean his home state?
I mean, where his people are from. Germany. Germany.
Germany?
What?
Germany.
What is that?
That's the country his people are from.
Right. Don't yell at me, Mr. Henry.
R.C. Collins, folks.
Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on the alt-right report on me, R.C. Collins. It's on me.
Will you turn that garbage off, please, before I foot? Thank you. So what, R.C., that sucked.
Yes, it did suck.
R.C. Collins and the whole alt-right report. Well, all right, so coming up next, folks, Austin Amarca has got a comic. Guess we'll open it up. Is Austin the first one?
Yeah, Austin Donald Lang wants to talk about Jim Sadler, and then later on Chef Tortilla.
What is it with you and R.C. Collins and a lot of you undereducated white boys? You all got that. You talk like you've got a machine gun for a mouth, you know?
They mean undereducated white boys.
No, I don't think black people do that.
What?
You're always going, sounds like you're from Minnesota. Never mind. We'll be right back. Phil Hendry Show.
This is the world-famous Phil Hendry Show from the El Pacifico in Southern California. I'm Margaret Gray. Bye.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens.
Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. That's what we do at Bright Copper Kettles and Warm Woolen Mittens. We're at the corner of 5th and Snouserton here in downtown Whitby. Hi, Gene Burv for Bright Copper Kettles and Warm Woolen Mittens. When you come into our store, what do you see? Bright Copper Kettles and Warm Woolen Mittens. Yeah, and Warm Woolen Mittens. You got it. That's because at Bright Copper Kettles and Warm Woolen Mittens, we only know two things, and two things only, and that is Bright Copper Kettles and, boy, I forgot, Warm Woolen Mittens. We sell those by the billions, by the gazillions, and we've made a very pretty penny. If you want a Bright Copper Kettle and you also want a Warm Woolen Mitten, just one, come into our store because that's all we're going to sell you. Yes, at Bright Copper Kettles and Warm Woolen Mittens, we'll sell you a kettle and one woolen mitten. You have to come in the next day to get the other one, and you must buy them together. That's how we stretch it out, how we milk it, and how we make it so ungodly and insufferably, oh, it's horrible. Bright Copper Kettles and Warm Woolen Mittens. My name, Woolen Mitten. That's nice. I'm Gene Gigby, or whatever the fuck I said my name was.
Hey, everybody, this is Dr. Jim Sadler. I'll be on to answer your questions, your medical questions, and any other concerns that you have coming up with the Phil Henry Show.
Welcome back to Phil Hendry Show. All right, phone calls from folks out there. Anybody's got any unfinished business they want to talk with us about, we're happy to talk with them. We have on the line Austin Amarca from the Newhall area. Austin, how are you? Welcome to the program.
Hey, Mr. Henry, thank you for taking my phone call. And I did have a comment on the Dr. Sadler guest that you had on the other morning.
Go ahead.
Dr. Sadler said that in examining a man's prostate, he used to say, "Get your pants down, bitch."
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why he thinks he could say that and not have someone knock hell out of him.
All right, we have Dr. Sadler on, as you know, to answer some of these questions from San Diego. Dr. Sadler, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, in Austin. Thank you for your question. Well, I mean, Dr. Sadler, how do you figure you're going to tell some guy, "Get your pants down, bitch," and he's not going to tee off on you? Well, let me say something here. First of all, as I told you the other morning, that was a way of letting out tension. Having a tough day, It's a way of saying, just letting the tension off. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt nobody. I've had a tough day. I've had a lot of patients. In comes this guy wants his prostate exam, a prostate check. And by the way, I'm not a urologist, but I went ahead and did it anyway because some guys come in with that problem, yo. You know what I'm talking about?
How can you check a prostate if you don't know anything about it?
I didn't say I didn't know anything about it. It's just not a specialty for me. They should go to a urologist, but if they want to come into my office, jam up my day, and put me through the not a very savory experience of sticking my finger. Yeah, right. So,
well, then you shouldn't have been a doctor.
I shouldn't have been a doctor. Is that really what you said to me?
Well, the guy's coming in, and he needs to have his prostate checked.
Oh, I'll go ahead and check it. But I want to let him know of the strain and the stress that he's caused me. That's why I say, okay, thank you for coming into the office. If you recall the other day, Austin, I said that I would sit down. Hey, what is your name? How are you? Give me a medical history. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, get your pants down, bitch. So
that's what I mean, and I would have a hard time. I don't want to say this, Dr. Sadler, because I'm a law-abiding man, but I would probably want to. I'd probably want to hit you. I'd probably want to break your jaw or something like that.
Well, there's not much chance of that happening, I can assure you. So, and by the way, I'm not saying that...
what do you mean there's not much chance of that happening?
Well,
Yeah, what do you mean?
What do I mean?
Well, you're saying that if this guy wants to belch you...
Let me just explain something, Austin. Maybe Austin doesn't know. I know that Mr. Henry knows, and I also know that General Shaw. I lift weights, okay? I lift,
Yeah, you lift.
Right. Well, I lift, and so I've got guns that are huge. I've got a very wide chest and a very thin waist.
You look like one of them guys that are bodybuilders?
I am a bodybuilder. You don't know that I was a bodybuilder?
No, sir, I did not.
All right. Well, now you do. And I've got, so in other words, my shoulders are wide.
What is your chest size?
I don't know, but I've got a massive chest. I've got a very thin waist. I got a 19-inch waist, and then I've got huge thighs.
Are you telling me you look like one of those weird... they got these freak bodybuilders now. You heard about that, right?
Oh, some of them look very strange.
Excuse me? Strange? No. I look like I am in the tip-top shape.
You're a bodybuilder, and you sculpt yourself so you got a little tiny thin waist and the big arms and a big chest and the big legs.
I do. I have the large legs, yeah.
All right. So tell me again what difference does that make?
What difference to get a load of... So you're telling me that you're going to go ahead and try to clock a guy that has 2 tree trunk legs, a little 19-inch waist, and then a gigantic, 60-inch chest with gigantic, the gigantor guns?
Thank you. Are you done now?
Oh, man.
No, I was waiting for you to get it. Yeah, I have to tell you, no, I would not be afraid of that at all.
And why not? I can't wait to hear this one.
Because bodybuilders they're not very flexible. They don't move very well, especially in a fight. I could get in. I could get 2 really good clean shots to the jaw, bust your jaw, and you'd be on the floor. You'd be kneeling down with your big, gigantic legs going, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, right. Are you kidding me or something? Are you kidding me?
Hey, Dr. Sadler, let me ask you something. Not that I want to encourage fighting. I think it's stupid, and God knows there's civil penalties that people can pay, but a guy's going to turn around and sue you. Austin, Dr. Sadler could do that.
Oh, I'm not going to sue him. The guy's going to try to take a shot at me.
Well, I mean, you tell me get my pants down, bitch. That would be my instinct.
Well, you're going to wind up... all I have to do... My arms are so big, okay? Again, we didn't really discuss this, Phil, on the show the other day. My arms are so big that all I have to do is if I flicked... Like if I was flicking my finger, like I'm flicking like a... Excuse me for saying like a booger... have you ever flicked a booger? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What are you talking about?
Have you ever flicked a booger?
Will you knock it off with that? We're listening to you.
All right. I'm asking, what about you, General?
Yes, I have.
Have you, Austin?
Flicked the booger, yeah.
All right. You know how your finger... If I flicked my finger the way you flick a booger, and I flicked it at you...
I wish you'd stop saying that word.
What word?
Booger. It's booger, man.
I know. What else?
All right, watch it.
I know that. God.
All right, well, then say it that way.
I am saying it that way. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, all right.
All right. If I flicked my finger and all I got to do is hit the side of your face with my finger the way I would flick a booger, you would probably have a broken jaw and you'd collapse unconscious. Okay? That's what we're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Man, I don't care how big a guy is. That's not going to happen. I don't know a whole lot about bodybuilding, but are you saying just the mere flicking of a finger would knock a man unconscious?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I don't believe that, man. I know a lot of people who are weightlifters, and I know a lot of people in the body sculpt and all that. And no, you can't. What do you think, man? You think just because you lift weights?
You haven't even seen my guns, have you? And you're there talking all kinds of smack.
Will you knock it off with your gun? I don't care how big your arms are.
You don't. So I've got massively huge I got massively huge legs.
God, what happened there?
I'm just thinking about, I've got gigantic legs, a gigantic arms, gigantic chest, and a 19-inch tiny waist.
And you think you're so strong that you could just...
If I just tapped you on the side of the face, you'd go, ah! I'm telling you right now, that's what you would do. So, I'm sorry, Mr. Henry, for taking up this time.
What are you doing?
I'm leaving. That's what's wrong. I think that's what you said.
Well, he's leaving because I've exposed him for the bull crap artist that he is.
Bull crap artist? No, I have to go. I got patience. Okay, I've lent enough time to this program. Every time I'm on your program, I'm made fun of.
Well, you have to begin to be a little bit more credible, Dr. Sadler.
What are you talking about?
All right, so you got big arms, big legs, and when you just tap a guy...
God, how I wish I could hang up.
Let him hang up.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes, let him hang up.
I hope all of you just rot.
I hung up on him.
Well, he wanted to hang up. Well, not that I care.
I mean, what do you think about that whole thing?
I think it's a load. Thank you very much, by the way, Austin Amarca, for joining us. Is he gone?
Yeah.
And thank you, Dr. Sadler, for nothing. We will have him back on, I'm sure, to explain himself. But he had to move on. We had to move on.
That is the most absurd and jackbolic thing I've ever heard in my life. The big guns and the little tiny waist.
Yeah, have you ever seen guys like that? They've got guys out there that look that way. Well, I think it looks horrid, and it frightens me. And it's like there's some kind of a mutant, and forget it. But one thing I wouldn't worry about is those guys just tapping you on the side of the face and then caving your jaw in or something like that. All right, world-famous Phil Henry Show coming back. Chef Carl Chidelia at Ted's of Beverly Hills. It's the world-famous Phil Henry Show and PhilHenryShow.com. This is the world-famous Phil Henry Show from the El Pacifico in Southern California. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Jack Guy Gagner reminding you that in the Phil Henry Show downloads, you can get the entire 2015 Milwaukee Lion football season and all of the Lions Line shows that I did, all the pre-games, all the post-games, all the halftime activities is yours there for download at PhilHenryShow.com. Check it out, the Milwaukee Lions.
Get the entire Milwaukee Lion catalog now at PhilHenryShow.com.
The Lions.
Milwaukee Lion football.
At PhilHenryShow.com. I don't know whether they're carrying the games next year or not, so don't ask me that, okay?
Just wanted to know. The drinks are cold and the drinks are flowing at Fuzzy's every Friday night. It's Ladies' Night every Saturday night, the big talent show. And, of course, on Sunday night, it's Rhythm and Blues night and Dance night on Monday night. Fuzzy's, where the drinks flow, the drinks are cold at Fuzzy's downtown. World famous Phil Henry Show, PhilHenryShow.com. And welcome back, everybody. We're going to head on out. I think we got actually things are heating up at Ted's of Beverly Hills as we speak because I think they have the Dunphy brothers in there.
Holy Jesus, not those guys again.
Yeah. And Ted Bell is going to join us here. Ted.
Hey, Phil, this is Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills. Chef Carl Chidelia is here, and there's a little bit of an explanation that he owes all of us because I've got a reputation in this town. But, yeah, we do have the Dunphys here, too, so it's a big night.
Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills. Thanks for joining us, Ted. Appreciate you being here. What?
Ted, this is General Shaw.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you a question. These Dunphy brothers, every time they come in, they're slapping you around and pushing you around. Why do you put up with that?
General, I've talked about that, and I've talked about that. I don't want to get into it right now. The Dunphys and I, we do business. They don't slap me around. Look, if I don't pay off, all right, they come in and they go, what are you doing? And I would be indignant, too.
But it is in my nature not to pay off on bets when I feel that it just isn't right. For instance, I had a lot of cabbage running on that Atlanta Falcon game, right? And you saw what happened. You saw what happened, right, General?
Yes, I watched the game.
How about you, Phil?
I saw it, yeah.
Margaret?
Well, I watched it with Frank.
Yeah, I saw it too.
But why do you think that was not right?
Are you kidding? They were ahead 25 points at the half. You know.
All right, relax, Ted.
Relax. You know, you got to understand something, Phil. If you're a gambler, and I am a gambler, all right, I bet a lot of cabbage on a lot of games, okay?
Hey, we had a guy in here, we had a guy on the air who dropped $3,000 on the game. Was it Dr. Elcott? Yeah, that's right. Elcott dropped, 3,000.
Are we talking about what? Dr. Elcott? I'm talking about me putting real cabbage on these games.
All right, how much did you drop?
You know what? That's none of your business. What I will tell you is this. You can't tell me that every swinging...
Watch the language.
All right. But you can't tell me that everybody in the world that watched that game wasn't already, okay, let's get ready. It's going to be an Atlanta kind of year. I bet you the Grits, all the, and the Falcons...
I think you're probably right.
Oh, yeah, you know I'm right. And by the end of that game, I got the Dunphys looking at me. I can't believe what's happened. There's Mike Dunphy and Timmy Dunphy, who's going to be singing tonight. God damn it. Terry Dunphy. Hey, hold on, Phil, just a minute. Rudy. Yeah. Timmy Dunphy's singing tonight, okay? So hey, I understand that, but say hello to Phil. Phil, hello.
Hey, Rudy, how you doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. It's a beautiful night tonight. When are you going to come in for a drink or something?
You know what? We ought to make it very, very soon.
I wouldn't mind going in for a cocktail.
Yeah, I'll go in there too.
You're too young.
Can't serve you yet, bud. But is Robert on enough?
No.
All right. Well, I don't give a... Anybody wants to come in, we'll give you a Shirley Temple.
Yeah, right, I'm sure.
All right. So anyway, thanks. It's nice talking to you, Rudy.
Throw the phone at me, man. I got to get back to the bar, man. So here's the thing. I need Rudy. What I was going to say is Timmy Dunphy's singing tonight. What about it? Well, can you MC it? Oh, God.
All right. So, Rudy, where are we here, man?
Rudy, where are we here, man?
What are we talking about?
I just want to make sure they got Timmy Dunphy's good. Yeah. I got to let Timmy Dunphy come up there and sing.
Well, that's because you're welching on these bets.
I'm not. Are you, like I said, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you don't understand what I'm talking about, okay? I'm discussing here with friends the very weird freak scene that the Super Bowl was. And it was a freak scene, you got to admit. The fact that the Falcons lose that game.
Things happen, Ted. I'm not going to sit here and defend what I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about the football game and what might have been and what should have been and all that stuff. It's, it's water under the bridge, man. All I'm saying to you is that, when you don't pay off a bet, I mean, stuff happens. And I don't know how else to put it. I'm not a gambler per se. I don't really, I wouldn't say that I'm a big gambler, but I know what happens if you're not paying off bets.
All right, Bill, nice speech, okay? Hold on, I got to...
Ted, you're very rude.
How am I rude? I said to Phil, nice speech.
I know, it went in one ear and out the other. That's okay.
One of these days, Ted, you're going to wind up with a couple of broken legs.
Ooh, aren't we reading a lot of comic books? Okay, hold on a minute.
It's not comic book.
Hold on for a minute, will you, for God? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ted to Beverly Hills. Let's give a big round of applause now, if you don't mind, to Timmy Dunphy. He's going to sing a song for us tonight. Here he is, Timmy Dunphy, singing a song. I don't know what song you got here, Timmy. I don't know. All right, here we go. Timmy Dunphy, ladies and gentlemen, singing Lady in Red.
Never seen you looking so lovely as you did tonight. I never seen you shine so bright.
This kid. Yeah, all right.
Never seen so many men ask if you wanted to dance.
How old is this guy?
How
old is this guy?
Give on half a chance.
36.
I have never seen that dress you're wearing, or the highlights in your hair that catch your eyes.
What cornball.
Heaven blind, lady in red.
I like this song, though.
He's dancing with
Rudy,
drums out. Sorry about that. Yeah. Hey, how you
There's
doing?
nobody here.
Yeah, your kid brother's great. Oh, man, he's going to kill me.
It's just you and me. It's where I wanna be, but I hardly know.
Hey, yeah, Tom. Yeah, your kid brother's up on the stage now. Yeah. Oh, he's killing, man. Yeah, he's killing. Jesus.
I'll never forget.
All right, get him off, will you? Get him off. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Let's hear it for Timmy Dunphy. Timmy, ladies and gentlemen, Timmy Dunphy and the rotten song that he sang there, Lady in Red. Yeah. Hey. So anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, nuts, you know.
Is Chef Chidelia there?
Yeah, come on, now, Carl. I was waiting for the end of the song, you know.
Sounds like you cut that guy off.
What do you mean I cut off who?
Sounds like you cut off that Timmy Dunphy.
It does.
Well, that's too damn bad. Chef Chidelia is here. Chef Carl Chidelia is with us. Tell Phil what you said in that interview.
Phil, I did an interview with Beverly Hills Chef, which is a magazine. You know, it's a trade journal, right?
Yeah.
And the guy, and we were talking about, because we're very rough and tumble kind of guys. Just because of Beverly Hills doesn't mean that we're not rough and tumble. And I said, and we said, hey, what do you think of Kellyanne Conway? I said, what do you mean? He says, you know, just don't forget about politics. I want to know what you think about Kellyanne Conway and whether or not whether you'd bone it, you know, and I didn't mean to say.
Oh, for God's sake, you know what? Clean your language up, please.
I'm sorry, but that's what the guy said. Would you bone that? And I said, but would you say that again? I said, okay, so would you do Kellyanne Conway? And I said, well, yeah, why would you ask that?
Then I read this, and I couldn't believe my eyes. Now, Beverly Hills Chef is a trade journal, so not everybody sees it, okay? But the fact that this guy, Chef Chidelia, a guy that works for me, he works for me, was in print.
Will you give me a break, Ted?
Give you a break?
Give me a break, Ted. He asked me, hey, what do you think of Kellyanne Conway? And I said, yeah, sure, I'd take a shot at it.
Yeah, you take a shot at Kellyanne. So I read this in print. Well, what do you think happens? I read this, I'm stunned, I'm staggering into the restaurant. I walk in, everybody thinks I look like a ghost. I'm bleached blanche white, and I'm holding very loosely by two fingers at my side the copy of Beverly Hills Chef. And I sit down at the bar. What I say, Rudy?
You wanted like 3 fingers of Kessler's.
I asked for a straight whiskey, and
what are you talking about, man?
You know what I'm talking about. And I waited for the phone calls to come in, and there, sure enough, was Brucey Hitchcock, Phil.
Oh, that guy's a big mouth.
Well, he calls me, hey, you got a chef there that had tagged Kellyanne Conway. I wouldn't eat at your restaurant with your lips. And click. And then the calls just, hey, where's Chef Chidelia? I want to ask him if he picks out meat the same way he picks out women. Click. And then another guy calls up, and another guy, and another guy.
Oh, you are exaggerating. How many people called up and even saw it?
A good half a dozen.
Okay, 6 whole guys called up and said what?
They said, you ought to fire Chidelia for what he's done to you. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, are you serious? He said that he'd tagged Kellyanne Conway. He tag teamed that all night long.
I didn't say that at all.
Well, that's basically what you're saying.
When the guy said to me, would you bone it? And I made a mistake. I went, yeah, and I should have said, how dare you?
That's the problem. You're giving an interview with an imbecile.
An imbecile? This guy who runs Beverly Hills Chef magazine.
Well, what are you guys talking about that for?
What?
Why are you talking about whether or not you'd bone it?
Would you please?
Sorry.
Well, we're talking about Kellyanne Conway. There's a couple of guys, okay?
And the guy wound up quoting you.
Yeah, the guy wound up quoting me.
And that's the whole problem. That's the whole problem. So there it is in print. Hi, I'm Chef Carl Chidelia. I prepare food. I literally prepare food for people. My hands touch the very food that goes into the mouths of people that come to Ted's Beverly Hills. And now that you're thinking about that, think of this. I'd go ahead and bone Kellyanne Conway. God.
Come on, man.
I don't think it's all that bad.
It is not. Rudy, go ahead.
Phil, look.
Rudy, you are supposedly a gentleman.
I am very much a gentleman. I'm very much a gentleman. And I would say, if Kellyanne Conway were here...
what would you say to her?
I would say, hello, Miss Conway. My name is Rudy. La la ba ba la 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 la.
Well, you heard that, didn't you?
Yeah, what about it?
You don't know what? Go do it again.
La la ba la ba ba la.
That means, yeah, you're very handsome woman. And can I show you something in a box? You know what that means.
La la la.
Yeah, jockstrap.
Oh, come on, will you?
I'm not kidding.
You know, and so I don't want to say that.
Why would you be that rude?
Because most people don't know what that means. Ted has learned how to speak the la-la. You know?
I wouldn't do it, but I know what it means. You're not going to find me out there with my tongue wagging all over the place going, like some goon like this guy does. But when he comes out with that ba-la-la-da-ba-da, and I said, that means you would say to Kellyanne Conway, my, aren't you a very handsome woman? Uh-huh. So that's what we're talking about.
That's not a very bad thing to say.
Oh, no. No, not at all. That's not a bad thing to say. You call most women handsome, and, buddy, you're going to walk out of there with your knees knocked together, going, ow.
All right, Ted, I don't know how valuable this conversation is.
Well, I can tell you this right now. I want to make this announcement to all of the Ted's of Beverly Hills fans out there, and I know that we have many. Please come in and eat at Ted's. Even though Chef Chedillia said what he said about Kellyanne Conway, I can assure you that he makes the food is fun. His hands are clean.
There was nothing wrong with what you said, and Chef Chedillia, and...
well, thank you very much, Phil.
Wait. Whose segment is this, anyway?
It's your segment, but I'm entitled to disagree. There's nothing wrong with what you said. I think it's a hell of a thing to indict a woman's looks that way.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, you sure do. And I said I'd go ahead and tag it.
Well, you know, you're talking...
The way you put it is very crude.
All right, I'm sorry about putting it that way.
You said you'd go ahead and tag it, though, didn't you? Tag team. That's what you said.
Yeah, I did. And I don't take it back at all.
What?
I don't take it back at all.
You don't tuck it back.
He doesn't take it back.
Well, yes, sir. Get a load of Henry. He doesn't take it back. All right, Mr. Henry, then that's fine. You don't run my restaurant. I run my restaurant. I run Ted's of Beverly Hills.
What a pussy, man. Get out of here.
Tell me to get out of my own restaurant?
Oh, I gotta get desserts then.
Well, you know something, Chef Chedillia, I think that we eliminate the word tagged and boned and all of that. I think you're very gracious in acknowledging your particular taste in women that some men may not find attractive.
I believe it being my own guy. And I believe it being the kind of guy that, you know, for you name it. I mean, I'm just the kind of man who will be as honest as I possibly can with the things that I want to do in life.
So you shine so bright.
Oh, Jesus Christ, not this kid again, man. What is he doing out there, huh? Daddy.
Never seen too many people want to be there.
He's singing again.
When you turn to me and smile,
hey,
you took my
hold on for a minute. Hey, what are you talking about, huh? Hey, come on, Tom. Your kid brother's killing me, you know? Hey, that's my kid brother. He sings pretty good, though, don't he? Yeah, sure, he sings great. I want to hear another song from the kid.
All right, Ted, see ya. God!
What happened there, man?
It sounds like absolute pandemonium.
You gotta check. Check what? It sounded like there was a scream or something. No, there was just, Bud, pot up the restaurant. Yeah, it sounds fine.
Yeah.
So there's Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills, and he made a colossal error. He made a huge mistake, I think, in coming on here, not because he gave Chef Chedillia crap for thinking that Kellyanne Conway's hot, because he came on here and said that she wasn't in such grotesque terms that now I think he is going to be living that down for a very long time.
Not only that, but the Dunphy brothers are going to want to get their money's worth now, because when they hear a tape of this show with him laughing and all of the carrying on, they'll want to put their kid brother up there again.
Yeah, it's great. How do you know so much about it?
I know. Don't worry about it. I grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but I spent a lot of time in Philadelphia, a lot of time in the card rooms of Philadelphia, and it wasn't pretty, I'll tell you that. I'm Margaret Gray.
Hey!
Yeah, why are you applauding that, man?
Because it sounded good.
Even though you didn't know what it meant originally.
Even though I didn't know it was really.
Originally, man.
No, I did not.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for your input. World famous Phil Hendrie Show at philhendrieshow.com. Oh, man. So we'll see you tonight for our chat. Don't forget the BSB chat tonight at philhendrieshow.com. If you're a Backstage Pass member, join us for our chat. Starts at 9 o'clock Pacific. tomorrow, we got Saturday Cinema, along with a replay of the chat, our BSP show for Saturday. Then, of course, on Sunday, we do a live stream of the show. If you want to watch us produce the show absolutely live, it starts at 6 o'clock Pacific, Sunday night, right here on the world-famous Phil Hendrie Show. Yes, this is General Galen Shaw.
I'm Margaret Gray.
I'm Robert Lennon.
I'm Bud Dickman.
Have a good weekend. Shaw out.